As Trump's barrage of executive orders and vows to grab multiple foreign countries continue to reach new lows, it is worth noting that while he's playing with his magic marker, signing meaningless orders on ending the penny and naming himself the chief curator of entertainment at the Kennedy Center in Washington and proclaiming Gulf of America Day, while also trying to rewrite history by punishing any government or law enforcement official involved in investigating his attempt to overthrow the government, there is a massive MAGA grift going on while much of America is distracted. This while the price of basically everything keeps rising. Remember, Trump mainly won on the economy, right? He won on the groceries.
I won on two things, the border and more than immigration. You know, they like to say immigration. I break it down more to the border, but I won on the border and I won on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, you know, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries, and I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I honestly think he thinks that he invented the word groceries. That's got a funny parody for me. I'll leave it in the background. On to better things. So, Joy's not wrong when she talks about the grift continuing while the prices keep increasing. The grift with Elon, the grift with laying off people, the grift with making gold cards for the elite wealthy to come to our country instead of having green cards where the normal workers would normally come. That's all the grift. He's getting something out of it. I really don't care what it is. I care more for what's on the other side, and I keep saying keep your eye on the ball. I'm going to roll some B-rolls here while I talk about the consumer price index, about the price of eggs. And February, according to the Conference Board, saw this significant decrease in consumer confidence. Gee, I can't imagine why. It marks the largest monthly drop since August of 2021. The downward turn reflects growing concern about the future economic conditions. Let's pick that apart for just a second, because not only are the prices going up, we have a bird flu epidemic sitting in the background. It hasn't really influenced us yet, but it's sitting back there waiting to slap us when we least expect it. We've got a measles outbreak down in Texas where one young child has already lost its life. And now we have the government starting to lay off in the tens of thousands with a projection of possibly, by the time he's done, of up to 80,000. Now, that seems like a really large number. I don't want to talk about that. Let's just stick with the 20,000 that we already know are there, that some of them have to be brought back. Those people are going to be going on unemployment. Those people are going to be looking for separation benefits. A lot of those people, if not the majority of those people, were unionized members of the U.S. government. They have to have a deal to letting them out the door. It isn't going to be free. If Elon thought he was trimming waste by letting so many people go, and I wonder if he even thought about, even considered a spreadsheet, even maybe ran it through a calculator, of what the average person is going to cost them in unemployment, legal battles, losses in lawsuits. Just one individual, think it out, and then multiply it by the 10 to 20,000 people that you have let go. That's not to mention the work that's not going to get done that will probably end up having to bring independent contractors in, which I believe would be part of the grift because it'd be friends of the friends. But the Federal Reserve has a recessions indicator, and according to them, we're tickling it right now. That's the last thing people like you and me want to hear. We don't want to hear about that kind of thing. We've just fought our way back from a pandemic that all but destroyed the economy. We managed to make it up on top. Out of the G7, we were the top dog. We're not there anymore. We're already seeing numbers cutting back. We're seeing inflation coming up. We're seeing layoffs coming up. We're seeing all sorts of issues with, like I said, the consumer index. And now we're laying people off. Yeah, that's going to help us a lot. New home sales, by the way, another indicator that people don't have money in their pocket is when they stop buying homes. Sales on the new single-family homes fell 10.5% in January, reaching an annual rate of 657,000 units. The median house price rose 3.7% to $446,300. Think about that number, folks. You're talking $500,000 to buy a house. It's the highest since October of 2022. Regional disparities were evident, with the Northeast and the Midwest experiencing significant sales drops while the West saw an increase. I'm not sure how anybody saw an increase in there, but that's according to Reuters News. They're reporting from their financials. It just doesn't look right out there. And now what we're going to do is, according to number 47, just yesterday, today being Wednesday, you'll see this on Thursday. According to number 47, he is going ahead with the tariffs on Canada and Mexico and China. China being the least at 10%. Now, by now, all of you know how a tariff works. And if you don't, shame on you. I've talked about it 3 or 4 times here. I know there have been hundreds of newscasts about it, and the economic channels and the financial channels are talking about it every day. We pay for the tariffs when he puts a tariff on anything coming from Mexico, Canada, or China. I'm sorry, but number 47 can't rewrite the rules of economics. They're already there. So with mass layoffs from the U.S. government, mass unemployment, Medicaid, and a few other items already on the chopping block, and people scrambling because they don't know where they stand right now, I'm not seeing where anyone's spending any extra money. You're going to drive car sales, truck sales, home sales, all what they call durable goods, washing machines, dryers, stoves, refrigerators, luxury items, swimming pools, hot tubs. You're going to drive that all into the ground. It's not going to be going on in this economy. Come summer, we had reservations for people from Canada mostly, and from the EU, and from Mexico, and from Australia. I know that there's at least 4 people that come up here from Australia every year. I get to see them. And I know they're here. They're visiting their working friends that are here. They're not coming this year, folks. They don't want anything to do with what we're doing up here. They're seeing it from out there in their un-rose-colored glasses. They're not being told by the echo chambers. They're not being told by Fox or CNN or any one of the news personality shows what it's like. They're hearing it from their own people. They're hearing it from their own government. They're hearing it from their state departments when other countries issue an alert on you may want to rethink your thoughts of traveling to this country or that country. I know when I travel the world, I usually check what the government has to say about places I go to. You know, Africa's one of them. The United States isn't always happy to see us go to certain parts of Africa or certain parts of Far Eastern Europe. So they put out notices of safety for their citizens. I'm sure there are other countries putting out safety notices to their citizens about coming here in the tumultuous times that we have. Let's sum that all up. You got layoffs, you got inflation, you got unemployment, you've got tariffs coming in, you got the price of eggs still going up. Actually, there's been a couple of signs that I've seen in print where people are photographing the egg counters with them either empty or 1 or 2 cartons left and saying all gone for the day. Yeah, it's not looking real good out there. And if anybody wants to tell me that they've got something better going on, well, the economic growth of the Conference Board of Leading Economic Indicators says we decreased by 0.3% last month. Those are strong indicators of going towards a recession. The U.S. economy is in trouble. It's not moving quickly right now, but it has turned the course. If you want to see a simple indicator of it, watch Jay Powell when the Fed gives his talks. He gives monthly talks all the time. The last 3 talks that he gave, the last 4 talks that he gave, there were 3 decreases in the interest rate by quarter points. This month, no, he held back on that. He said he didn't want to do that. He was a little concerned about getting ahead of the curve and maybe giving us a cut when we really didn't need it, when we needed to hold the interest rates to hold inflation from growing. Okay? I don't know what else I can say to convince any of the MAGA right. Between the multiple lawsuits, the multiple losses that they're going to pay, the legal fees that they're already incurring on, let me see what the numbers are there in the background, 90 and 25, 90 lawsuits and 25 injunctions against the Trump administration, and they're paying the legal bills with yours and my money. How much longer are they going to be able to do that where it isn't going to cost us more? How many of those are they going to lose and they're going to be fined for and have to reimburse people, and they're going to give settlements to people? Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to run into the hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's all in the name of saving we, the taxpayers, the waste and fraud that's going on in our government. Ladies and gentlemen, there's always going to be, and it will always be there. Someone's always going to try and game the game. It's not the majority of the people. It's not the majority of everything. If you want to look at something, and I don't suggest, that we do anything about it right now at this moment, but if you want to look at a budget, let's look at the Black Ops budget for the Pentagon. Hundreds of billions of dollars go into it. We don't know not one red dime of how it's spent, but they say it's for our own good. Well, we're still living in a country that hasn't been invaded yet. Let's hope it stays that way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I do appreciate your presence. I appreciate everybody's loyalty coming back. I appreciate the support I'm getting in trying to keep this going and trying to get my message out to the world. If you would, just there in the bottom, just hit the like. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. I've got a lot of subscribers now. That's okay. I'd like more. But just give me the like. It helps with the algorithms, helps push my channel to more places. The better my algorithm, the better the spread of the word that I'm giving. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, in case it hasn't been noticed, we here at Unscripted Political Discourse support the 50-51 protests. Thank you. Hope to see you there someday. Everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you.